throwing the ball. And, I think the other part of it is that they got timely rebounds. I thought our guys fought. And then, for whatever reason, they ran a scheme, but they were, sometimes when you play with that kind of emotion and energy in the first half, it's hard to sustain it. But for whatever reason, we ran out of gas, and largely due to what they were doing. That was a really good basketball team in the second half that we played against.
Brad, you guys have played some of your better basketball against maybe Miami and here. What do you take away from, aside from the results, I guess, what do you take away from the team's play?
Well, I think you got to take away, and this doesn't make it any easier in that locker room right now. It doesn't make it any easier for me, but you got to take away the positive that, we're able to play with those teams, at least for periods of the game. And hopefully we can get it to the point where, like in Miami, where we can, finish a game off. I think that the last couple of teams we played, the way that they are playing right now, if we played Miami again right now, I think Miami's probably one of the best teams in the league. I don't know that they were playing like that when we played them, to be candid. And these two teams are, the last three teams are, they are what their record says they are, right? I mean, they're really good teams, and you can extend that back a few games before that. It's just been a tough stretch. Hopefully hopefully we don't get down. We can stay up. We can, take the good and realize that no matter who in the NBA goes through this stretch, it's going to be hard for good teams to win. We just have to utilize it, get better, and understand that, we'll see a stretch like this again. Maybe we can play better the next time.
Brad, over here. How's Kelly's ankle, and do you expect him to be able to play tomorrow night?
That's a great question. I have no idea. All I know is he couldn't play in the second half. I haven't even had a chance to ask anybody or talk to anybody since I talked to the team and left the locker room. It was wrapped with ice, so that's as far as I know. That hurt, though. Thought that hurt us.
Coach, Jordan Crawford, 21 points in the first half and 3 in the second. Was there anything you were doing differently, or was it just a matter of just not ball finding him, or what transpired in the second half?
No, I mean, anybody who has gotten on a roll like that, that's ever played, will tell you halftime's the worst thing that can happen. And so, that he can go like that on a roll, but you can't expect that to happen again just because he was in the zone in the first half and really feeling it. Again, they had a lot to do with it. They can crank it up a notch with their defense, and I feel bad saying they turned it up or cranked it up because that team's probably the most consistent defensive team with regard to effort and how they play that we've played, and we played the best of the best in defense. So it's they really had a lot to do with it.
And we talk a lot about Paul George and what he's able to do, but in the third quarter, it seemed David West seemed to have his difference in so many different ways.
David West is a stud. David West has been a stud since he played at Xavier. And I think he looked like he does now when he played at Xavier, as a matter of fact. He is a winner, and you read articles on them or you talk to people in that organization, and they've got a ton of talented guys, and I think they would all say that David West is the rock. And boy, does he play like it. And the ball came to him, and he made big plays. I thought the other thing is I think Skola's an outstanding addition. And I told our guys this in the locker room afterwards. Skola's pretty new to that situation, and we'd cut it to 7 or 9, and had a side out of bounds, and they came out of the huddle, and Skola's talking everybody through it. And it's really an interesting dynamic when you get a guy that's that old, that's been through it, that's that bright, that it can really help lead the way. They've got a lot of guys that can think the game, and Frank's done a great job with them.
It seemed like in the second half you guys really struggled even to get into your sets. Is that just a lack of ball handling, careless passing?
It could be a number of things.
All the above?
Yeah, it could be a number of things, Jay. And some of those turnovers don't have to happen, obviously, but again, that takes away from their effort. Even the ones where we threw it away in transition, where you can just keep it and bring it up the floor. somebody for the Pacers is still running back to intercept that thing. So there were a lot of factors in that.
Everything you can work on to lower
It's a
those
good
numbers,
question.
see what
It's a
you
good
know.
question. I hope so. Obviously, who knows when he'll necessarily play, but obviously you've got one thing that'll really help when Rondo comes back with regard to the point guard spot. But I thought our point guards did a reasonable job, and Crawford went, crazy in the first half, and I thought Phil, gave us some good minutes. You could kind of see it. I've been in these games before where you can kind of see your team doesn't have anything left, or at least like you see that kind of like we got hit by a counter punch pretty hard, and that's why I put Phil in, because I thought he could spark us and move us in the right direction. I thought he did. I maybe should have left him in and just gone small.
Brad, third quarter, points in the paint, it was 14-0 in the end.